Yo, my friend, welcome to Coach Paul's Life Tip Podcast. This is a place where you are going to be set free through every single day, challenges, struggles, possibilities, all of those things in your life. These life tips are going to help you navigate to your process. Hit that subscribe button here on iTunes and drop me a review down below if you like my content. You could also follow me on Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube. Now, here's the kicker. If you want to watch me live, you can pick me up live every single day on Facebook at facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. I come on 7:30 a.m. every single morning, Central Standard Time, to bring you these tips. So once again, that's facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. So if you are all about community and helping build a community, then that's the place to be. With that being said, sit back and enjoy the ride. Yo, and welcome back to your Life Tips with Coach Paul Ibarra. And this is episode number 24. Actually, Life Tip number 24. I have a few other episodes that I put on here that were random, so there is no life tip for those. They can be life tips, but they're not numbered as a life tip. And so I'll just shut my mouth and keep going forward. So this is Life Tip number 24, and it's labeled "Your behavior means everything. Act right." So my question for you today is, are you acting right today? You see, attitude and behavior are two different things. Someone can have a bad attitude, but their behavior is really going to show you what their character is, right? So your kids, they might have attitude. They go to school. I used to work for the school district, and kids had attitude. And I honestly really didn't care about their attitude. I cared more about their behavior, how they were going to behave in my bus versus their attitude, right? Because each and every one of us have an attitude. We have an attitude of arrogance or pride or laziness or complacency, whatever that may look like in your life, right? So behavior is such a huge part of your journey in life, no matter how you look at it. No matter if you've gotten a flat tire, your behavior, everything hangs on your behavior. How are you going to act in that moment? How are you going to respond in that moment? That all has to do with behavior. Attitude is, okay, so I'm in a jacked up situation. My attitude is going to be good, and I'm going to stay focused on getting this tire fixed. But my behavior is really going to mirror what my attitude is. So your behavior really is a huge part of your journey, your relationships, your business, your ministry, whether it's good or bad. Now, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've had good behavior and I've had bad behavior. And I've learned through life that my behavior is really, truly going to dictate everything that I do within that 24-hour period. So how does behavior add to your life? It builds your character. Now, depending on what situation you're in right now, what area of life you're in right now, it totally depends on your situation as well. All right. And so no matter if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, and you may never hit the 10 mark, because let's face it, this number 10 is a scale of perfection. So we're not focused on being perfect. We're focused on doing better than where we were. So you can literally go from a 4 to a 6, or you can go from an 8 to a 10. No matter where you are, you have that choice. And you've heard me say this before. It's all about choices. What choices are you going to make? If you're ready and willing to be in a season of losing weight and staying fit, you have a choice to either eat Taco Bell or make your own tacos at home. Right? With a little bit healthier choices. When you go to a restaurant, you can choose to eat a salad or eat that hamburger. With whichever one you go and do, that's what we want to focus on, is those choices. So there's a story in the Bible about Cain, and I'm sure you guys have heard this statement, "I'm not my brother's keeper." Well, that's where it comes from. And so Cain had a chance to make things right. He had a chance, to kind of bring the whole story out. He had this moment in time where he him and Abel were bringing an offering to God. And this is the first part of the Bible where it even talks about human beings bringing an offering to God. And so they brought their offering, and Abel's was a good offering. Cain's wasn't his best. And so God has this dialogue with Cain and said, listen, I'm rejecting your offering because I'm God. I created you. So I would like to see something out of your best. Like, what is your heart saying right now? I want the intent of your heart to show in your offering. And Cain was pissed off. Cain was mad. And so God told him straight up, listen, this situation that you're in right now, you're putting yourself in this circumstance. And so he said, listen, sin is crouching at your front door, but it's up to you to master it. What is that sin? Pride. So many of us have that pride issue, and that's where the behavior starts to ooze out of our pride. You follow what I'm saying? And so I want to help you today to help you to understand that there are ways to make things right, even in those prideful situations. Sometimes it's that quick moment of breathe. If we could just breathe for a second and really think about what we're going to say to somebody else, our behavior is going to mirror where our heart is at that moment. You follow what I'm saying? And so it's time for you and I to change our hearts, to turn our minds to those things that are positive, those things that are focused, those things that are going to have longevity in our life, that are going to take us from point A to point B in a healthy way. You follow what I'm saying? And so I want you to understand that when you begin to change your behavior, then your attitude itself will change as well. Because as you're changing your behavior, guess what? Your heart and your mind are being changed. And now your attitude is even a little bit better. Have you ever been around those people where you're like, man, where'd you just come from? Because I remember before you were a little bit tooty. You always had tood all the time because you were full of attitude. So your behavior was jacked up. And so those moments is when a person is doing introspect. They're really digging deep inside themselves. And it's time for you and I to really dig deep to find out, how do I want my behavior to change in this life? And maybe there's a problem, and maybe there's a reason why I'm not getting the blessing that somebody else may be getting. Why? Because it all comes back down to choices. It comes back down to the behavior. It comes back down to the places where we need to focus and really truly center in to what God has for each one of our lives. All right. So with that being said, if you want to stay positive, I have a free download for you. I want you to go to bit.ly/I am free download. Absolutely free. You get that thing, and there's 20 affirmations over your life. And I believe that it'll change your life just as much as it did me. Take one of those statements every day and speak it over your life. Say it in front of a mirror. Say it when you're driving your car, whatever that might be. Or if you have your own affirmations, start speaking those positive things into the atmosphere, and you will definitely see your life change. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow with tip number 25. So that being said, God bless you guys, and I'll see you then. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Your Life Tips with Coach Paul. If this podcast has brought value to your life, hit that subscribe button, my friend, and drop me a review if you haven't already. And just a reminder, you can catch my latest live tips on Facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday morning. And if you or anyone needs help in any area that you have heard me touch on, I am here to serve you, my friend. Visit my website, setfreelife.net, to schedule a free call with me, Coach Paul. So until we meet again, keep it moving and share some kindness with someone today. God bless.